Hello everyone, welcome back to the Chronicle, where I talk about my daily life, weekly goals, and the overarching plot of my life. Couple quick side notes. I didn't talk about last week, yesterday for me, but last week for you guys. I trimmed my beard. I would say maybe quite significantly. So this is a two on the stash and then the chin here, which is honestly for the mustache much shorter than I thought it would be. Or no, sorry, much longer than I thought it would be. I thought it would feel much shorter, but it really doesn't feel that much shorter than it was before. It does feel much shorter on the chin. Um, but and, that's quite nice. But yeah, not as short as I thought it would be. Right here. I also did actually shave the sides, like my cheeks and kind of like my side here, as well. Now, of course, it's already growing back at this point, but it feels kind of cool. I don't know if I want to do that regularly. Like I said, it does feel really nice. Like when I washed my face in the shower earlier, oh my gosh, it feels so much better when there's not like hair in the way. But I don't know. That seems like a lot to do regularly. Taking the one guard is so much quicker and easier. Um, so I don't know if I want to. I guess I could shave this like more regularly than I trim my beard because I pretty much trim my beard once it just feels like too long. But maybe I could go back to shaving like every other day just on the sides here. That could be nice. Anyway, today after work. Oh yeah, actually, before we go to work, I woke up after like 6.5 hours of sleep, less than 8 for sure, and I felt fine. I don't know why. I don't understand. I'm tired now, um, but like I really just do not understand what determines how I feel in the morning. Now I'm a little bit tired like right now, and I've been a little tired like in the evening today. So we're gonna see, I guess how I feel in the morning. I also woke up at 7 instead of 7:30. I don't know if that played into it, um, but I felt fine. I had some cereal before going to work, and then I ended up skipping my snacks at the 10 a.m. break and then just eating lunch, which was good. Um, and then after work, came back and I played Minecraft online with several of my coworkers, including Ink, for like 2.5 hours. That was a lot of fun. The Farmtress is coming along very nicely. I've got three. I've got the ground floor, floor one and floor two. They're there. Not super done yet. Floor one and two, I think, are just about like 99% done. I just got to put some finishing touches on there. And then floor three, that one's gonna probably be the hardest. It's there. I have it. It's just not there's not much up there yet, and I still gotta build the level below as well, which is probably gonna take a while as well. I think I'll actually show you guys when it's done because I can record my computer. So yeah, I think that'll be fun. And then after that, I showered and I made salad in a bag. So I talked about a while ago. I was thinking about making chicken Caesar salad because my mom got me canned chicken. Um, the canned chicken is pinker than I thought it would be. I thought it was raw at first. I had to do some thorough Google searches to find out that it is usually cooked in there, like 9 times out of 10. And I Googled the specific brand, and yes, it is cooked in there, even if it doesn't look like it's very cooked. Apparently, it's pinker because it's not like exposed to oxygen. I was like, okay, that's fair, I guess. So I cut up like most of a head of lettuce, threw it in the bag with some Parmesan cheese, some croutons, and some like ranch dressing. Then I threw the chicken in there, and I shook the whole thing up, and I made salad in a bag, and it was pretty good. I still have some left over. Quite good, if I do say so myself. I don't know, like I said, I think I'm too afraid to regularly buy canned chicken, but knowing that that is the thing I can do is pretty cool. And for my monthly March goal of do one thing, I'd say the salad was one thing. I did play Minecraft for too long. I meant to practice both instruments, but it's whatever. I did do the salad, which was good. I wanted to go on a run as well, but I remember that I hate running, and I would rather bike. But I don't have a bike here. My bike is stored at Surfer Girl's mom's house. I'm pretty sure I've explained the story behind that, but that's where it's at right now. So it's kind of tough. I don't have my bike on me, and I think it fits in my car. But then again, it's like I don't know where I'm gonna store it here. I would have to store it like out on the balcony, and it's like I don't know where I would bike if I had it here. Anyway, I think that's about all that happened today. I did get a couple emails back from Ken Della, and he was like, "Yeah, so most of the kids in the art school are high schoolers and middle schoolers." And I was like, and he was like, "I don't think there's many people over 17." I'm like, "Okay, so I'm definitely going to be out of place amongst the children in art school." Then he was like, oh, but I am thinking about having a art school in the summer geared towards adults, but they're probably going to be retirees. And I'm like, okay, so we got older and then we went too old. I don't want to be in with the retirees doing watercolor. I don't want to be in with the high schoolers and their crayons or whatever the heck it is high schoolers do. Um, so I'm probably not going to do the art lessons through there. I might just like YouTube some. And then I got an email back from the utilities. They're like, you need to send in ID for all the residents there. I'm like, I don't see how that's entirely necessary, considering that they will be in my name and not my roommate's name, but whatever. So I've got to ask Ink to send me, I guess, photos of her ID so I can send them to the utility people. And then I did get an email back from the front office saying, thank you for letting us know that you are working on it. I don't know. Yeah, pretty much. I don't think she guaranteed that they weren't gonna shut off my utilities. I assume they wouldn't. I think that was just an empty threat to like, make people go faster. Um, and I think I got one more email, but I can't remember what it was about. Oh, I think it was junk mail. Yeah. Um, but yeah, so that's where all of that is at. I tried calling the office, the licensing office today, and it rang for about like 3 whole minutes, and I did that twice. Did not get through to the office. I think I'm just gonna try again, and if that doesn't work, I'll probably have to make an appointment. But I don't want to make an appointment because I just need to talk to them to see what's up. Like, do I just need to go back in? I don't want to pay for another ID because that ID already exists, I think, unless they just shred it upon getting it back, if it gets returned to sender. So still got to figure that out. Whew. But I think that's all for today. I'll see you all tomorrow, Tuesday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. I'm going to try and keep this quick because today was fairly uneventful, and also, I know I was overtime last time, and I'm tired right now. I'm supposed to go to bed right now. I think maybe. I'm still not entirely sure on when I'm supposed to go to bed anymore, because I'm not entirely sure how much sleep I need, because, crazy things happen where I sleep for 6.5 hours and feel great. Anyway, today after work I had some cereal before work. I feel like that kind of messed with my appetite the whole day, so I might skip the cereal tomorrow, or maybe I'll wake up later tomorrow in the morning. Anyway, today after work I went to Pouty's for a scheduled time. We played more Splatoon. It was a lot of fun. I came back, hung out with Ink for a little while in her room, and then I made lunch for tomorrow, and that's pretty much my whole day summed up. My stomach was being kind of weird today. I thought that it felt like I needed something to I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my stomach is too acidic, and sometimes I feel like it's not acidic enough. And I felt like it wasn't acidic enough today, so I was like, what's acidic? Alcohol. So I took a sip of rubbing alcohol. Just kidding, I took a sip of whiskey, which of course tasted kind of gross, but I think it might have actually helped a little bit. It was just a sip, so I'm not entirely sure. Um, but maybe kind of a little bit. I might just try it again another time. Hopefully, I don't know, because like I said, it's my stomach problem. But I don't know. I feel like it's kind of got to be physical, but at the same time not. Because right, they didn't find anything, but I still feel bad. So I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all for today. Other than I made another appointment at the licensing office to get my license renewed because I tried calling them again today and I did not get through. So I've just made a whole new appointment. I'm gonna go tomorrow over my lunch break. Um, and then hopefully I won't have to pay for another. Hopefully I just walk in there, give them the situation, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah," because it's gotta exist, right? It still exists, and I'm thinking if it still exists, then that means it's somewhere, and I don't have to pay for it. But I guess I'm gonna find out tomorrow. Anyway, I will see you all tomorrow, Wednesday. Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday. I've got my retainers in again because I want to go to bed as soon as possible and I'm tired. Speaking of being tired, I am a little bit more tired in the evenings because I haven't been sleeping quite as much. But haven't been sleeping quite as much sounds like a bad thing, but I think it might be a good thing because I usually wake up feeling better than when I sleep closer to 8 hours, which is weird. I'm thinking about keeping a sleep journal, just so I can keep track of how much I sleep, what I do before bed, and then how it actually affects waking up and the following day. But I don't know if I'll get around to that. Maybe I could make that a goal. I was thinking about making that a goal for next week. Speaking on a quick note of this week's goal, the screen time goal, not going well at the moment. I decided to kind of postpone it until next week because I kind of already got to a bad start on Monday. And I want to refine the goal of the goal even more to try and go for below 1 hour of daily screen time for next week. So I will try much harder for that next week. This week I'm just going to hang out for a while. Anyway, today I woke up fine mostly. I woke up at 7, which is weird. I think, was it this morning and the morning before I woke up at 7? like naturally, which is kind of weird. I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. So we'll see if that happens tomorrow. Um, so I woke up at 7, got to work a little late. Work was fine. I stayed there till 5. After that, I came home, had some food. I had my Factor meal. And also, speaking of Factor, it's quite good. It is quite good. It's also very expensive. I got 8 meals for $65. But that was with heavy discounts. And the discounts, the way it works is they start you off really cheap, and then it gets back up to the regular price as time goes on. If I were a rich man, I would definitely order Factor, but I'm not. So I just ordered 1 week, heavily discounted, and that's good enough for me. After that, I went to Walmart with Ink. We got a shelf for the kitchen to put like pantry stuff on. And then once we got home, she just seemed to suddenly be in like a really bad mood. So I kind of left her alone for a while. And then while she was after she built the shelf, I was in the shower and I heard her like moving stuff around and heard a lot of like loud noises. And at one point, I think she dropped a glass bottle of something. And then also she was like, "Hey, I was moving stuff around and she somehow, I don't know how, I can't think of how, but she ended up dropping one of my hard monsters and it like broke open. um, I was like, okay, so I lost about a third of it and then I just drank the rest, which is kind of what I did this evening. I did attempt to practice guitar and then I got like tired. And I don't know, I was just really slacking on my instruments. I think like definitely this week for sure, maybe the week before. I'm not entirely sure why. I think I just need to be a bit more proactive about them. I feel kind of bad about it, and I want to do better. So I think I will starting like Thursday. But I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to get back into the rhythm of practicing all the time. Anyway, yeah, that's about all that happened today. Uh, yeah, she was also in a really bad mood after that. So I was like, I don't know what's going on. She left, and I said, "Where are you going?" And then she didn't respond to me. I'm like, okay, so I don't know. I feel like I did my part in like trying to help because I was like, "Do you want help or do you want me to go away?" And she was like, "I got it." I'm like, "All right, can't say I didn't try." Um, I think that's everything. Oh, I also went to the licensing office today. Unfortunately, I did have to pay for the ID again, but I think low key my photo was kind of better. The photo that they took, I saw it on my temporary. I'm like, that looks pretty good, better than my last one, I think for sure. So I did do that over my lunch break. So I only lost about like 10 or I think yeah at most like 10 minutes of work from coming back from lunch late. Um, so very proud of myself for being very proactive about that, especially because my ID expired, or my previous temporary ID expired later this week. And in the terms of my March goal for doing one thing today, yeah, I went to the licensing office. I got a shelf from Walmart, and that was about it. I really, really, really need to. I want to do my the goal to catch up on guitar, because that one's been up there forever. So maybe I'll kind of like commit to my instruments a little bit more this week, starting tomorrow because lessons are tomorrow, and then that's kind of like where the 4 practices per week thing resets. And I think we're good. I am right at 4 minutes. So I will see you all tomorrow, Thursday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. Today, after work, I went to lessons, straight to lessons. There's some traffic on the way. I think there was like 2 accidents, which is kind of crazy. But I made it to lessons just fine. Lessons were good. It was super hard to focus during lessons because I didn't eat anything between lessons and after work, which kind of sucked. Was it? I ran out of oats overnight, which is a brand that makes overnight oats, and I am still slowly, very slowly, but surely working on my own recipe. I'm pretty sure I'm close to making something good. Last time it went bad because I didn't add enough milk, so then the oats and the protein powder and the milk, they all just kind of turned into something mostly solid, which was not great. But I mean, it didn't taste that bad actually. It's just it looked gross, and people were like, "What is that?" Um, and that was with the quick cook oats, not the rolled oats. The thing is, the rolled oats, when I use those, I use too much milk. And then the thing is they didn't actually absorb the milk hardly at all. So I added equal parts milk and rolled oats, which is different because last time I added extra milk because I was like, oh, the protein powder, it's going to thicken things up. I don't think it did. There was mostly like milk with oats in it. It was kind of gross when I made it that time. So I've got equal parts oats and milk in there, and then protein powder and Oreos. So hopefully that sounds pretty good to me. That sounds pretty solid. So we'll see how that turns out. And then after lessons, I came back and I had a factor meal, and then I just practiced piano, did my dailies. Actually, speaking of dailies, there's one that I forgot about. I'll let you take a guess. It's the one that I always forget about. It's the smelling stuff, because I don't know. Yeah, that was pretty much it today. The do one thing goal, I haven't, I can't remember if I put like in concrete what the like what counts as one thing, because I think I definitely remember talking about it, but I don't know if I made concrete what does and does not qualify as one thing. Um, the one thing needs to be something just that makes me feel like fulfilled or happy or satisfied with, like, yes, I did that today. Today, I didn't really have something like that, if I'm being honest. I went to lessons, I did dailies, I put some time into Minecraft, um, but I didn't, particularly feel fulfilled. I don't really feel like I did anything. And I think the goal of that is to feel like I did something, and I didn't really do anything today. Um, as much as I hate to admit it. Um, yeah. I mean, like, I guess, like, I did technically do things, dailies, practice, lessons, right? But nothing that made me feel like I did something. So I think today is going to be the first X on that little sticky note, because I don't think I did anything today. Um, anyway, that's all for today, and I will see you all tomorrow, Friday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Saturday. There is no Friday. Don't worry, I'll tell you why tomorrow, as per usual. So, today I woke up after about like 8 hours of sleep, and I felt really weird. Part of me was like, yeah, I'm ready, let's go, and then part of me was like, I'm so tired. So I ended up falling asleep for like another hour, and I had a dream that was kind of weird. It was like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so youth group did not happen today. Normally, that's what happens on Saturday morning. But there was this event going on at church, and then our youth group was like, "You should go to that event instead." And I was like, "Oh heck no, I ain't going to no event." I say event. It was like a weird kind of like class or something. Honestly, I didn't look into it that much. It had an acronym for a name, and it said it's a class where we do this, and I said no, thank you. So I didn't show up. Um, so I slept for a while, and then I played some Helldivers. Made my little energy drink. Was it for breakfast? I had a breakfast sandwich, and I got a little kind of protein shake from Factor as well. Uh, so I had a breakfast sandwich and that little protein shake. um, it is a little late. Anyway, I had that for breakfast. Had my homemade energy drink. It was great. Practiced piano. Did my dailies. I think. Let me double check. Yeah, did all my dailies. Um, but that was like later in the evening. Trying to think. After breakfast, I ended up practicing piano. Um, I did also make a steak. It was okay. One thing I don't like about the steak, or about meat in general, is it's not 100% consistent. There's some parts that are like kind of tough. There's some parts that are kind of like fatty, and it's hard to enjoy it when it's like that. And I was like, well, the solution is I just need to be autistic about it. I just need to cut off the parts that I don't like, similar to how a child would cut the crusts off a sandwich. If that part looks weird or squishy, just cut it off and then eat the part that you do like. Because really, it's only a little bit of it that I don't like. I like 90% of the steak. The weird 10% I don't really like. Um, Also, the steak itself was weird because I got it from Aldi, and I got specifically Aldi has a kind of meat called meat from Aldi, and it's very affordable. It's also gross, like it's disgusting. Um, I remember a while ago, way back, I bought some, and then me and Ink cooked it, and it tasted, or not tasted, it smelled awful, like immediately from opening the packaging. I don't know what was wrong with it, or if there was anything wrong with it, because it wasn't expired. It just smelled so awful. And we're like, okay, maybe it'll be better if we cook it. Mm-mm. And I was like, okay, maybe that was just a bad one. Maybe we gotta try again, just for like science, right? I don't want to base, my entire whatever opinion off of like one experience, right? So I bought some more this week. Mm-mm, still bad. Smelled bad out the package. Smelled good while I was cooking it, and then it still had that weird smell and flavor after it was cooked. And I was like, okay, this is not enjoyable in the slightest. So yeah, like I said, it's very affordable because you can get like two steaks for like $18, and the other steaks were like usually I think $11 at the cheapest, right? So it's like $2 cheaper per steak, and you get two steaks. So I'm like, okay, but yeah, it's gross. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could try it like one more time, three strikes and you're out kind of deal. Because was it? I bought it earlier in the week, or maybe last week, but it was not past its expiration date or its sell by date, and yet it still smelled really gross. It's like it smelled gross in a scent. Its smell was unfamiliar. I don't even know what it smelled like. I just know it smelled bad. Um, anyway, I cooked it and I ate, like I said, 90% of it, and then the gross 10% I threw away. And also had some bell peppers with that. That was pretty good. Um, was it a success? Yeah, I feel like it was fairly successful. I feel like I got a nice medium. I feel like it was medium. I mean, it was like I said, the piece of steak is not 100% consistent. So like, I would say most of it was medium, and then maybe like a little bit on the outer edge was like well done. Um, but yeah, I think it was pretty okay, pretty decent. And then I had some bell peppers with that. So I made a steak, I played some games, did my dailies, practiced piano. I think that's about everything I've done today. Yeah, not quite as hyper productive as I wanted to be, like I was talking about. But I haven't been on my phone as much. I feel like, so that's good. Also, so the way screen time works on your phone is it starts on Sunday. The week starts on Sunday, so I need to lock in tomorrow to that goal, the screen time goal specifically. Even though it won't technically count as like completed until like next week. And also speaking of the screen time goal, like I said, I am kind of like giving up on it this week, but I will try harder starting tomorrow. I'm going for under an hour of screen time per day. That's probably impossible, but I'm gonna try. So like tomorrow, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do stuff, and it's not gonna be on my phone, and I'm hopefully gonna uh, get that screen time down. I do kind of want to talk about the goals in a larger sense, but I'll save that for tomorrow because I am over time on this video, and tomorrow is supposed to be longer anyway. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for the last report on Sunday, right? Because today's Saturday. Yeah, I need some water. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sunday, end of the week. What a week it was. It was a fairly normal week. I think so. Other than like, I just forgot to do all my stuff again because I just be living. You know what I'm saying? I just be living, but I don't be doing, and I need to be doing more. Anyway, let's start with today's events. I woke up, and today was daylight savings, so that was kind of cool, I guess. So I slept for 8 hours, and then time skipped an hour, so I woke up at 9, or maybe 10 or something like that. And then I went to church. Church was fine. I came back, and I was gonna have a smoothie, but I kept thinking about making a smoothie because my stomach was being mean to me, and it was saying, I don't want food. And I was like, well, see, that's weird because I've been awake for like 3 hours at this point, and I should need food. And it was like, I don't want food, and I feel very acidic. And I'm like, okay, that's not super helpful. Um, I guess I thought about taking like a Tums or a Pepsid, and I just didn't. Because I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Like, my body was saying, I'm not hungry, and I can still function. Now, that's not totally a lie, but the thing is like, whenever it does that, usually there's just going to be this steep drop off where it's like I'm fine, I'm fine, now I'm starving. So I ended up making a smoothie after a while. What happened was, oh yeah, was it yesterday? Yeah, I don't know if I talked about it yesterday, but yesterday Ink got a cat, which is pretty cool. So now we got a cat in our apartment. Was that yesterday? That had to have been yesterday, but I feel like I would have talked about it yesterday. Maybe I just forgot about it. Anyway, she got a cat, and then she's allergic to cats, so she had her boyfriend wash the cat. Except the cat didn't want to like go under the faucet, and it didn't want to go into the shower head either. So I heard they bathed it with a wet towel. And I was like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing you could do. And then it kept running away when they were trying to dry it off after it was bathed. So then at one point it ended up in my room in the sunlight because Ink keeps her room completely blacked out most of the time. But the natural sunlight gets into my room, so the cat was just sitting there in the sunlight, kind of shivering because it was all wet. Then I was like helping to dry the cat off for like a while, and then that's why I didn't drink my smoothie for like ever. And that once I drank my smoothie, or I drank most of it, and then I felt full. And then I went to my dad's for laundry. So like that kind of like process took way longer than I thought it would be, so I didn't do quite as much as I wanted to today. Um, and then hold on, oh my gosh, I was gonna check the report yesterday to double check something I said or didn't say. Yeah, so I went to laundry and then I did something after that, and then I came back. Yeah, I came back, and on the way back, I stopped at QT and I got a little like brisket sandwich. Or no, 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 it was pork. It was like a pulled pork sandwich, barbecue. And I had that, and then I got some groceries at Aldi. Um, Probably not as many as I needed. Well, no, I got as many as I needed, but probably not as much as I wanted. I don't know. Anyway, got gas, got groceries, came back, played a little bit of Helldivers because I do get to stay up a bit later than usual, which is good and bad. It's good because I like being awake and doing things. It's bad because I think Ink's going to sleep now. Um, so our sleep schedules are going to be slightly misaligned tonight. But big news. So I do get to stay up later tonight because I'm going into work later tomorrow. Why? Well, you know I've been like running out of work at work, and I just have to label bags. So one of the big bosses was like, "Hey, we're gonna send you to another company in the company, right? Because you guys know Fairwave owns the roastery, and then also other stuff. There's a place called Hugo Tea. That's where I'm going. Tomorrow at 9, not 8, 9. So I get to stay up later and sleep in a little later, which is cool. Super excited for that. Gonna get to do something new for work, which is gonna be fun, I think. You know, nice, fun new experience, hopefully. And then I think that's just about everything that happened today. Yeah. Other things I've been wanting to talk about. Oh yeah, I guess let's do the goals real quick. Actually, no, let's talk about the stuff I want to talk about. That way I don't forget. Um, Okay, so was it? This was mentioned earlier in the week. I met with this guy from my youth group to talk about youth group and just like my life in general. And he was like, "So you're just waiting for to hear back from UMKC right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Are you doing anything in the meantime?" And I was like, "Well, I'm trying to. I've got these four kind of big things percolating, circulating in my head right now, and it's music, which is learning to read music better. It's fitness, which is I would think I would start with cardio so that I can get back into my regular calisthenic routine more often, and then cooking, just because I need to know how to cook more things, and then oh, what was the fourth one? It was music, cooking. Oh yeah. Um, uh, Wait, no, hold on, wait. Music, cooking, fitness, art, because I want to learn how to draw. So I'm like, okay. One thing I thought about was I have an hour and 25 minutes of free time at work Monday through Friday. That's my paid 25-minute break and my hour lunch break. And I was like, if I committed myself to as something, anything, for an hour and 25 minutes, 5 times a day, I would progress pretty quickly. So I'm thinking maybe I will just do, like, I will start with the simplest and easiest art tutorials I can find, and I'll work my way up from there, just like on YouTube. And then hopefully I'll learn how to draw. That's the plan. That's the whole plan for that. Also, the screen time goal, which I'll talk about in a second. I am gonna start that like this upcoming week. So like by the time you've watched this, the week will be over, and I'll be on the new week. And on that new week, I'll be starting the screen time goal, which is kind of, I don't want to say it's already failed. It had failed this week for sure, because I started off bad last Sunday, but I also started off bad this Sunday. But that's fine. So I'm going to not be on my phone during my breaks at work. That should hopefully, that should hopefully cut down the time daily average by a lot. Probably not under an hour. I feel like that's under an hour. That's a pretty unrealistic goal. But it's something to work towards. So I think I'm just going to read. I'm just going to read a book, Fahrenheit 451, because my stepmom got it for us for Christmas. She was like, "It's a good book. I want you to read it." I'm like, "Sure." So I'll be reading to pass the time during my breaks at work, instead of being on my phone. Um, so that's where I'm at with that. And yeah, so oh yeah, the four things I was talking about, how they were circulating in my head. Um, I'm not like I want to do all those things in the meantime, right? Between now and UMKC, but it's just that I'm not very my intention is not very focused, right? Because I'm like, oh, I want to do all those things, but I'm not planning any of it, right? And that's the problem, is because I want to do them, but I'm not planning to do them. So I'm thinking Monday, like this is hypothetical. Monday, tomorrow, we'll cook a steak. Tuesday, we're gonna do fitness. Probably, hopefully, play badminton because it should be really nice that day. And then Wednesday, we'll do some art lessons. And then Thursday, we'll do more art lessons or music. And then like Friday, like you see, that's what I'm saying. I gotta plan it out, right? Then also the goal. I guess I should skip the goals. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah, I need to plan it out. I need to, say I'm gonna do this, and then I need to do it. So I was thinking either that, where I do like different things each day, or I could just do, okay, all of next week I'm gonna do art lessons. By art lessons, I mean I'm just gonna YouTube art tutorials, and then do that for like a whole week, right? Because we've got like, was I hear back mid to late March is what they said, but I haven't used that date on the Chronicle I think yet because it's not super concrete. I like the concrete date of May 1st. May 1st for sure I'll know by then, because it's like, but mid to late March, that's like a 15-day span where they could reply at any time. So for convenience, and I just say the 1st of May, because that's also what they said. They said mid to late March for sure by the 1st of May. So we've got like 3 weeks between now and then. So I could do 1 week of like fitness, 1 week of drawing, 1 week of music. I could do, maybe a combination of some art, music, fitness all in 1 week. Haven't really decided on that yet. But yeah, I need to do that. Between now and May 1st. Which one am I going to do? I don't know. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I think that was all I wanted to say about that. Time for the goals. So the March goal of do one thing is going good. I've only had one day where I felt like I did nothing. I feel like I've done things for the rest of the days. The screen time goal, I just put it as in progress. The resin goal, still in progress. Handstand and guitar catch-up, I low-key didn't do. Forgot about those. Whistle goal, I low-key didn't do as well. Those three, man, they're just rotting on there. Like whenever, because like, how I pull them off the wall, whenever they're done, they're gonna have so many markings on them, and each marking is a week that it's been up there. So we'll know how many weeks exactly those I've been working on those, right? Because the X means I didn't do it that week. The guns goal is still in progress. I texted my mom. Because she was paying for the gun class that I want to register for. So I was like, I'll let her pick the date. And then I guess she hasn't really gotten back to me. We were focusing more on my insurance claim thing because that's still in progress. I think I'll call her tomorrow about that. Anyway, the dailies, I got 4 out of 7 last week. I confirmed that. And I got 2 out of 7 this week. So kind of bleh, but that's fine. The winter goal. Oh yeah, so the 1st of spring is in 12 days. So I need to have a fire by then or something like that. Okay, that's everything on the goals. I don't think I'm adding any. I'm just doing the screen time goal. Ooh, I guess I could add just one like right now, whether I want to lock into one or the other or another. Into cooking, fitness, or something else. Yeah, let's lock into fitness. We'll do what we're actually here. This is how we'll do it. Boop-a-doo. Okay, we're gonna put a goal up there. Fitness. Check this out. Fitness, art, and then we'll do music, and cooking. Boop, boop. Can you hear the scratch of the marker? That would be kind of cool if you could. Okay. So this is the goal. I'm going to put it up there. And next week, we're going to do fitness. The week after that, we're going to do art. After that, music. And after that, cooking. Now, I'll probably hear back from you and KC by then. So no guarantee all of these will get completed. But for sure, I think these 2 should be completed. And something will come of them, I hope. Which is kind of the whole purpose of it. So I'll put that up in a second. That's all the goals. Yeah, I'll add that one. Haven't added many others, and I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. Yeah. So I think it's journal time now. Is that what we do around here? Yeah, journal time. Monday, after work today, I played Minecraft with my coworkers for 2.5 hours and then showered, did my dailies, and made salad in a bag. And the quote is, "Gah!" It's fine. Tuesday, after work today, I had scheduled time with Pouty and we played Splatoon, and that's most of today. And then the quote is, "And I chilled with ink." Wednesday, hold on, I know there's one entry that I'm not sharing, so I'm going to proofread this real quick. During lunch, I got my ID updated again, and after work, me and Ink got another shelf for the kitchen, and then she got this evil aura all of a sudden, so I left her alone, and then later in the evening, she somehow broke open a hard monster, so I drank it, and that was most of what I did for the evening. Um, yeah, that's what happened that day. Thursday, after work, I had lessons, and after that, I put some time into Minecraft and did my dailies, and that's about all. And then the quote is, "So what I'm hearing is, it's a bad idea." Um, yeah, I've been putting a lot of time into the Farmtress, which is the farm and fortress, which I am building in my in the realm that me and my coworkers have. Or I guess it's more like they have it, and then I'm also on there. I say that just because like it's one of the coworkers that owns it specifically. But yeah, so the Farmtress is coming along great. I cannot wait to show it off. I've got 2 floors completed. The third floor is there, and it's like the base of it is there. The basement level is there, but it's got 2 more rooms I need to attach to that. Um, but yeah, I've got 2 rooms fully completed, like 2 floors fully completed. So that's coming along pretty good, I think. Friday, in quotes, because it was written at 1:14 a.m. After work today, I had a factor meal, played a mission of Helldivers, went on a run, and then spent hours on Minecraft with coworkers until the storm knocked our power out. The quote is, "It's survival Minecraft, anything can happen." And then a second quote saying the power came back on as I was writing this. Yeah, so Friday I spent so many hours in survival Minecraft with my coworkers on the realm. It was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun. So that's what I did for like several hours on a Friday night. Um, the quote, "It's survival Minecraft, anything can happen," comes from one of our coworkers. She went into the nether with another coworker to get some stuff, I guess, just from the nether. Oh yeah, one of the guys wanted a special kind of wood that grows down in the nether. And if you don't know anything about Minecraft or the nether is like literally hell, and it's very easy to die down there. So when she went down there, she died, and then she lost about half of her stuff, and then she went down there again, and she died, and she was obviously upset about it, and it was a little bit sad to hear, because I was just building my house in the meantime while I'm hearing her like, "Oh my gosh, my stuff, where is it? There's zombies, I'm dying." Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I thought one of the entries was gone. Oh no, yeah. So there was no. Oh yeah, okay. So there's no Friday video, but there's a Friday entry. There's no Friday video because I lost power, and by the time it came back on, I was like, "I'm so tired. I'm going to sleep." Saturday, you don't get Saturday. What I can tell you is that it was a pretty normal day. I remember waking up and my stomach was kind of weird, so I was like, "I'm gonna play Helldivers to pass the time, and then by the time that time has passed, I'll be hungry, right?" That was the plan. I was playing Helldivers, and then Ink flipped the breaker, and my computer lost power. So I did not get to finish that mission. I was having a lot of fun playing on a new build, and then it just went boop, and it was gone. And I was like, "Okay, thanks." So that killed my mood and my appetite. And then what else did I do yesterday? I think that's the most remarkable thing that happened. I know Bible study was canceled because. Wait, I talked about it yesterday, didn't I? I did. Yeah. You guys know about yesterday. I don't need to explain yesterday. I'm trying to remember whether I did or not. I did or did not say exactly what I did do yesterday. Um, but yeah, how long have I been going for? 15 minutes. That's not bad. Okay, yeah. So there isn't. So yeah. So you guys know what happened Saturday. I think we're good then. I think that wraps everything up. Now that I think about it, yeah, because I talked about today and stuff. I did laundry. Did I say I did laundry? I did laundry. Um, yeah, I think we're good. Next week should be fun. Oh, one thing I also want to talk about. I have been slacking on the gaming videos, which I would apologize for if anybody cared. I care a little bit actually, so sorry to myself. Um, like I said, I've just been kind of like living, and I saw my desktop audio spike, so hopefully you guys didn't hear anything just now. Anyway, yeah, I have not been doing the gaming videos, but I want to get back into it because they are very fun. It's just that I have trouble justifying, committing that much time to a thing. Usually they come out to be like an hour, which is odd to me. I know Dredge, which is next up in the queue, That one actually, it's super easy to control how long the episode is. But with the roguelikes, it's like, yeah, they have save points on them, but to me, it's more satisfying to do one run as one episode. Now, was it the most recent Ravens Watch episode, which is like a couple weeks ago at this point? I think that was like close to an hour, and that was just like the first part of the run. So that's why I saved and quit where I did. Um, because I know in Revita you can save and quit as well, but like I think I got to the final boss, and I think that totaled out to an hour for the whole run. And then I know I did a couple runs of Absalom at one point, and I think my most recent run was, did I die or did I die in my most recent Absalom episode at the end of the episode? I think I did, didn't I? I beat the Under King, right? And then what? Then we went on the boat, and then did I die after that? I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, so that's why I haven't been doing them as much as I have in the past. Is because sometimes those runs get to like an hour long, and it's like, whoa, I thought these were going to be like 20-minute episodes, and then they become like hour episodes. But yeah, hopefully I'll get back into that. I have yet to do multiple gaming videos in one day, I think. Um, yeah, maybe I can make that a goal. Anyway, that is everything that I think I wanted to say. I can't think of a single thing else. I think I got it all out of my system, and I think we're good to go. Thank you all for watching. I will see you all next week. Bye.